Bought this lovely Harley Benton bass, just under £200. I really like it. Only thing is, I don't know how well you'll hear this, but I'll turn up the pickups. And even with the pickups down, it's quite noisy. If I turn up the rear pickup, it's sort of a ground hum. The front pickup, there's also a fizz. A little bit of phase cancellation there perhaps, but pull them back. And that is cranking the amp, by the way. This is only a little amp. But what I'm thinking is it can't hurt to insulate the pickup cavity. Now, I was working on an instrument for someone from a local church recently, and I bought this jack socket, but his instrument was an active bass, so it needed 3 lugs, and this has only got 2. So I'm also going to fit this jack socket into here, because this jack socket is a really nice grippy one. It should hold the jack very nicely. That should be an easy changeover. And then I've just got some of the parts that I've taken off here, because I took out most of the screws just to have a look under there yesterday, and that cavity is not lined. So I'm going to be lining this cavity with some copper tape, and making sure that there's a nice Faraday cage around there, and I'll probably try to get under the pickups and behind the shield here, and that should improve matters buzz wise. The other things I'm going to do is put some nut sauce on the bits where the strings meet the instrument, and I'm going to have a look at intonation and all that kind of stuff. But lovely bass, great to play, just a little noisy, not so much I couldn't gig it or record with it, but why not have a go at fixing it. So what we can see here is there's no insulation at all in the cavity. To be honest, this room has got a lot of electromagnetic signals as well. My router is and stuff, and all my computers and my workbench systems all in here. So there is a lot of electric stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised, because if I turn the amp on, I'm getting quite a lot just from the antenna effect of buzz. So the bass is not actually that bad. Yeah, not a balanced signal and all that. So I think what I'll do is line all this with copper tape. The back of the pick shield, line all that as well, and make sure it forms a seal around here. Going to be honest here, I'm not super impressed with this nut, if I can get it to focus. It doesn't look great, does it? I thought these were meant to be like carbon fibre. That looks a right state. I think that's just, I don't know what that is. It's hard to tell, maybe just plastic, but we'll see. I mean, it's playing okay. That's the main thing. Yeah, I'll get some sauce on that. The other thing I'm going to want to do is to treat the fretboard with some fretboard oil and give the frets a little polish. I mean, they're not dirty or anything, but while I'm in there, and I'm sometimes my genius, look at this. I hung the strings up there rather than take them off, because you have to pull them all the way through, and then you have to undo the little wiggly bits. So I don't want to do that. Packaging, there was a cable, and presumably of low quality, but yeah, whatever. Put it in the cupboard, might use it one day. Hex key, Allen key, what do you call it? I'll call it hex key. And this tool, which I can only assume is for this very strange truss rod thing, which, yeah, it's got all these holes around it. So I reckon it's for the truss rod adjustment, but I've not seen one like that before. I've only ever seen one where you get a hex key and twist it. So this is new to me. Next bit is this prep system and deep conditioner system to clean the fingerboard. So the next phase of this is this deep conditioner. Got to be a bit more careful with this. Don't want to eat this. It's not good for you. Yep. But yeah, I've got this like applicator cap, and you just sort of get it on the fingerboard like so. Wipe it across, and then I'll have to rub it in with the cloth later. It's easier on the larger frets where you can actually get some surface area. Do not squeeze the bottle. There you go. So hopefully this fingerboard is going to feel a little bit less dry. Too dry for me. Not keen on taking the pickups out, but I don't really see any other way of properly getting cavity insulation in there. These big long pickup screws, oh, it should be all right. Okay. So, yeah, unless I can connect it to the ground cable, not to worry. It's no big deal, really. So with the back of this, I've got plenty of room. So I just need to go just round the outside and then down. Oh no, it goes that way. So it just down to there, really. So that's easy. So I can go onto the body of the instrument slightly, and that will make it easy to make the connection with the shielding that I'll put on the back of this. So there's the shielding on there. I'll cut this out on my cutting board with a scalpel. But yeah, I need to get it all trimmed nicely, but that should suffice for that side. I need to line the actual cavity and these bits here. Make sure it comes over just enough so it's got contact with the covers. I mean, that's metal anyway, I don't need to do anything with that. Now, I am not very good at this sort of thing. I'm a bit clumsy, and you know, there's going to be innumerable better ways of doing it than this, but I'm just trying to make sure that these pieces overlap a little bit and that there's a reasonably good coverage to block, you know, the antenna kind of effect and whatever you would call it. I'm not a physicist either. This is not going to be the world's greatest job because this isn't, I'm not super good at stuff like this, but just giving it a shot, innit? It's just fun. Yeah, as I go, I'm just gradually lining more and more. Make sure I've poked holes through for where we reseat the pickups. And it's just going to take a while, just keep laying strip after strip, and I hope I don't run out of copper tape before I'm finished. So there we go, one lined cavity, one scratch plate. It's got to come down to the end there, just on that side, to ensure continuity. I can pull it back from that. Don't need it over that screw hole. But yeah, it's coming together. I think I'm in an iron about whether to do the other pickup cavity. It's going to be a bit of a mare getting in there, but I suppose I should, shouldn't I? Don't do half a job. So what I'm thinking here is just to run another little ground wire through there, just tape it on there. I mean, it will do the job, just to make sure that that's shielded. If I'm going to go to the effort of putting copper tape, I just put a little wire through there and just tape it to the copper tape, and you know. Okay, I've run that wire. Let's see if it worked. Word. Get in there. So they're insulated. You can see a bit of the copper poking through. It's not too bad. So all I need to do now is change this over, all the bridge and the nut, and then restring and see how we're doing, and maybe have a look at truss rod and intonation. Alright, so now we've got the little jack on there, and I've got the other jack ready to solder in. First I need to get this out. Let's see if I can suck some solder out. It's come out pretty clean, actually. So I will clean it with some braid. All right. Oh, that's a terrible soldering job. tried to do it without bending that around then, which was a mistake. Let's have a look. Yeah, not completely horrible, it'll do. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just lubricate very slightly the string saddles and the nut. Okay, just lubing the nut now with some of this getting a shot Big Benton nut sauce. I can't hold the camera and do it, but just take my word for it. So I'm just going to give these perhaps a bit of a polish with these fret polishing cloths. Now, I don't know which way around these go. Let me check. You can use a pencil eraser behind here. Apparently it gives you a more even. But I'm just giving them a very quick. Okay, with that done, we're now ready to restring. And then this will be an instrument ready to play.
I've got a website. Remember those? gavd.co.uk.